Hello and welcome to episode 16 of the HERBGARDEN knitwear podcast. Hello, my name is Hannah. I'm the maker and designer behind HERBGARDEN knitwear, and today I am finally back with a new regular knitting podcast episode. It's been quite a while since I last recorded, and so I have plenty of finished objects to show you today, and I hope you really enjoy it. Since we last spoke, I actually had to rewatch the last podcast episode that I shared with you because I really wasn't sure where I left off. But I remember that in the last podcast episode I showed you the very first little bit that I had knitted on my Féth shawl, and that pattern is by now released and I can finally show it to you in its entirety. So I have it here with me. And here it is. I am very happy with how this turned out. It is knit with hand-dyed yarn from my friend Jule of Woolen Twine, who is an indie dyer here in northern Germany as well. And this is knit holding her cloud silk mohair together with one strand of Shetland Romley 4-ply. And it is just a lovely combination. It is very drapey, and I really love it. I usually wear it with the center on the side of my shoulder, somewhat like this, and it's very warm, very cozy, and I'm really happy with how the stitch pattern at the edge turned out. It's a cable and eyelet pattern, and it gets repeated more and more often until the bottom edge of the shawl. Yes. If you are interested to know a little bit more about the release process of a pattern, then you can watch one of the videos I uploaded at some point in the fall, because there I show step by step what it took for me to release this Féth shawl. So that is uploading the information that you need to my website and also to all the social media platforms and all that. So if you are interested in kind of a look behind the scenes, then that video might really be interesting to you. Yeah, but this is finished object number 1, the Féth shawl, and by now it has been test knit and it is released and available for purchase on Ravelry. And then later during the year I really got into sock knitting a lot. I knit loads of socks, and I released 2 new sock patterns this year. So the first sock design is called Cozy Season Socks, and the first pair that I made is this mismatched one, which I really love. And obviously if you make a pair like this, then you need the same amount of both colors and then a tiny bit for this white contrast. But you can of course also make a pair where both socks are the same, which I also which I also like a lot, very much. That's what I wanted to say, and mix it up. And these socks were so much fun. I could not stop knitting them, so I made not only 2 but 3 pairs already. I think it is so much fun to play with colors on these. This little colorwork band that is twice in the sock is very fun to work, and for me it was like the perfect amount of mindful and mindless knitting. So in the very beginning you want to complete the cuff very fast, because it's always exciting to see the colorwork detail for the first time, right? And then you have the majority of the sock, which is only stockinette, and that knits up really fast, so you make a lot of progress really fast. And then you have right at the end, where sometimes you get a little tired of a project, you have this lovely colorwork band once again. And for me this was like the perfect amount of being engaged in a knitting project. So I really enjoyed making these. So I can't decide which of these I like the most. I think it's also lovely to have like a festive, Christmassy version of these socks. And the pattern comes in 5 sizes, so you should be able to make a pair for all of your loved ones if you wanted to. They are knit on 2.5 millimeter needles, and I used Retrosaria Mondim, which is 100% woolen sock yarn. It has a little less length than regular sock yarn. It comes at 385 meters per 100 grams, and I think it has a very, very lovely stitch definition. Maybe the red and green combination is not the easiest to see, but it knits up really nicely and it works perfectly for color work. And they are very, very soft, like in comparison to socks with a little bit of nylon content in them. I think these are much softer and I really like to wear them. You might not want to wear them within heavy boots, but if you walk outside, then they might get holes in them a little quicker than socks with nylon content. But I really enjoy these, and I feel like they are also a little warmer than nylon socks. So I really enjoy this yarn, and I like to both knit and wear it a lot. I would love to know if you have a favorite color combination. Do you like it most if the socks are identical, like this pair, or would you prefer the mismatched pair like this? I personally have a hard time deciding. I kind of like both. But let me know. And I would also love to know if you have more ideas for color combinations. I think I might do a pair that is similar like this one, but with 2 blues, like a darker blue and a lighter blue. I think that would also look very nice. I can definitely see myself knitting more of these in the future, and I think they also make perfect gifts, not only now for the holidays in December, but also like in general. If you pick neutral colors, I think these are lovely gift knitting socks. Yeah, but after I made all those socks, I was not quite done with my sock knitting mojo, I was still very much in the mood for socks, and so I actually did another sock design this December, and these are the Vinter Socks, and they are also knit with the same sock yarn, Mondim, and they have this beautiful colorwork section here at the leg and once again before the toe. And they were inspired by slowly falling snow. We don't have a lot of snow here where I live. If we have one snowfall a year, that's a lot, and we are very lucky. But I really love snow in the winter, and so these were inspired by falling snow. I imagined the snow gradually covering the whole world, so it falls and, covers the ground. And that was the inspiration for these socks. And by now, both of these patterns are released, and my lovely testers did so many beautiful versions. I particularly love one from Emily, from Emily Knits, who has knit the Vinter Socks with a color changing yarn for the main color. So she has also like a cream color for the contrast color, but the background color is a color changing yarn, and that looks so pretty. And I actually also have a color changing yarn, sock yarn at home, and I might try that as soon as I want to cast on a new pair of socks, because I have leftovers from the cream yarn, and that was so pretty. You should definitely have a look at her Reverie project, because those socks are fantastic. Yeah, so these are the Vinter Socks, also knit on 2.5 millimeter needles, and also 5 sizes within the pattern. And yeah, I really enjoyed knitting Christmas socks this December. I have 2 more finished objects to show you. I have knitted 2 hats because 2 dear friends of mine have asked for lovely warm winter hats, and so I took this opportunity to make a new hat design. And it comes in 2 versions. One version has only cables, and the other version has also bubbles in the stitch pattern. And both versions will be included in one pattern, and the pattern is called Winter Woods Hat. And these are the 2 hats that I made. So this is the version that has only cables, and this is the version that has also like these lovely bubbles, which kind of make a floral kind of design, I'd say. And both of the hats have like a lovely intricate crown detail. It looks almost like a star. I hope you can see it. I really think the crown decreases are what makes a hat really special, and I'm really happy how this turned out. This is not super easy to get the shaping right at the same time as making it look pretty, so I'm very happy with how this turned out. If I remember, I will insert some pictures here of me wearing both of these hats so that you can get an idea of how they will fit. They have a double folded brim. So if I unfold it, you can see the ribbing is very long, and it can be folded over twice so that you have like this very warm 3 layers of fabric around your ears. And I knit these hats with the same yarn as I did for the sock pattern. So once again, this is Retrosaria Rosa Poma Mondim, and this is not sponsored, by the way. I just love that yarn, and I bought every single ball of that myself. So I held the sock yarn together with a strand of silk mohair, and you can use basically any typical silk mohair that you like. Usually silk mohair is about 25 grams and 210 meters. And I believe for this version I used the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair, because I just was looking for a silk mohair that matches the color of the sock yarn very well, and this color combination was just perfect. And for this hat I used the silk mohair from Isaiah. But you can use any typical silk mohair that you like. Yes, I'm very happy with how these hats turned out. They are currently being test knit. The test knit runs till 15th of January 2025. And so this will be my first release of January. And they look a little sad, just like this. But, you know, I will insert some pictures for you. Yeah. Some testers have already finished their hats, and there are some more to come. And for the very smallest and the very largest size, there are still testing spots available. So I will link the testing call below, and if you're interested, you can still join the testnet. As I said, you have still more than 2 weeks to go. Today is Sunday, December 29th. So there's still plenty of time to knit one of these hats, so you can still join the testnet if you're interested, and I will link it in the description box below. So these were all the finished objects that I made since we last talked. And of course I also cast on something new. If you have been around here for some time, you know I am a monogamous knitter. I always finish one thing before I cast on the next, because that's how I like it. And for the holidays I cast on a beautiful shawl by Moonstruck knits. And I am using this beautiful hand-dyed superwash merino. It is called Squishy Merino DK, and it is from Phoebe and Mercy Yarns. I hope you can read this. And it is a very darkish bluish tone. I don't know. It's not exactly black, but almost. But it has a little bit of a blue undertone. And as it is hand dyed, it has some lovely variation to it. And this is one of the yarns that I had in my stash for quite a long time. As you all know, hand dyed yarns are not always the most affordable yarns, and so I really wanted to treasure this and make something that was worthy of this yarn, and it took me some time to find something that I thought was a good fit. The colorway is called Nox, by the way, which is night, I believe. Yes, and the shawl design that I am knitting from Moonstruck Knits is called Calla shawl. And it has this beautiful broken rib combined with these flower motifs, which are made with cables and some lace. And I just finished the second repeat of the stitch pattern. It's hard to see at the moment. Let me adjust the needle maybe for a little bit, maybe you can see it better. I hope you can see it at all, as dark yarns like this are always very difficult to show on camera. But it's a triangular shawl, and I really love the stitch pattern, and yeah, so it will now continue a little bit more in the broken rib, and then a variation of this flower stitch pattern will be at the bottom of the shawl. I can link the pattern in the description below. So this kind of is what I cast on for the holidays. On the holidays, I usually knit from a pattern from someone else, because I really enjoy so many of the patterns that are out there. There are so many lovely designs I wanted to make for ages, and usually during the holidays I give myself the chance to cast on something that is then very mindless to me, as I do not have to make any calculations, I do not have to grade anything, I can just use the pattern and cast on right away. And this is very much like a vacation for my brain, so I really love that. Yeah, so this year it's going to be this beautiful shawl. And I just finished the second skein, and it will need 4 skeins in total. So I am right at the half of this project at the moment. Now that the year is slowly coming to an end, I have thought a little bit about what I want to make in 2025. And there are a few things that I decided I really want to try. First thing is, I want to focus on knitting a few cardigans, because I usually really like to knit sweaters, but I also really love to wear dresses, and I think it's so easy and lovely to combine dresses with cardigans. And also what I love about cardigans is, if the weather changes a lot, you can, pop it on and wear it closed or open, or you can take it off, and I feel that's more convenient in some cases than a sweater is. But I also know that I usually gravitate towards knitting sweaters, because I really enjoy knitting sweaters a lot. And so this year I really want to make a conscious effort to cast on some new cardigans, because the cardigans that I have made in the past are probably the items from my whole knitted collection that I wear the most. So 2025, I really want to make cardigans, and I really would love to know if that is the same for you. Like, is the thing that you love to knit the most also the thing that you love to wear the most, or is that different for you too? Because, for example, I also really love to knit with a lot of colors, because it's exciting to me to see the new colors pop up during the knitting process, and that's something I really love to knit. But I noticed that I do not love to wear very bright things that have a lot of colors in them, so that would be very interesting to know. Do you have also this kind of, how do you say, like, difference between what you love to make and what you love to wear? I would really love to know that, and if you have any advice on how to combine this very good, because sometimes I feel the things that I would really love to wear and enjoy a lot are not the most fun things to knit for me. So that would be very interesting to know if you feel the same. So first thing, more cardigans in 2025. And I also feel like in the past year I already learned a lot more about which colors really suit me. And I don't mean that in a way that you don't or you shouldn't wear any colors in particular, but I just noticed that I feel more comfortable in colors that I feel suit me, and not so comfortable in colors that really clash with my appearance. For example, I really love bright and sunny yellows and also like cream beigey tones, but all of those don't complement my skin tone at all. I always look really sick when I wear them. So I learned that bluish shades like denim blue and also berry tones are really good for me. And I feel like this year I really learned to look for the right colors when I shop for yarn, and that's really good because I feel slowly my stash becomes more of the shades that I really like to wear. And that is something that I really want to continue in 2025 because I have noticed I wear those items so much more if they are the right color for me. And I can only encourage you, if you have noticed that you have made things in the past, because I definitely have, that were knitted up perfectly and you really loved the finished item, and then you noticed you did not wear it because of the color, even though you like the color by itself but not on you, then I have made this mistake in the past, and I can only recommend try to find the colors that you really like to wear too. So that is also something that I really want to do for 2025, like maybe exploring this a little bit better and really finding all the shades that I really love to wear. And another thing that I really want to try in 2025 is actually knitting more from other people's patterns. And there are two reasons for this. One is very simple. There are loads and loads of stunning patterns that I have wanted to make for ages. And I usually try to really focus on my own designs and HERBGARDEN knitwear. But this year, which is also kind of the second reason, as it was the 5th anniversary of HERBGARDEN knitwear, so it was 5 years since I first started this little knitting and knitwear design business. I had some time to kind of look back on the past 5 years, and while there were a lot of great things there, and I'm very, very grateful for everyone who has supported HERBGARDEN knitwear, I also noticed that my plan to at one point maybe be able to make HERBGARDEN knitwear my full-time job was way out of reach. So if you just do something for 1 year or 2 years, then it's usually normal that everything grows very slowly and you don't have a lot of data to look back on regarding growth and sales and so on. But now looking back on the last 5 years, I know that ever being able to live off of HERBGARDEN knitwear is very much out of reach. So if HERBGARDEN knitwear would grow at the same rate as it grew for the past 5 years, then I would probably be able to make a living from HERBGARDEN knitwear after about 80 or 90 years. So I would already be dead. So as you can see, that's not very realistic. Unless something very unexpected happens, I came to the conclusion this year that HERBGARDEN knitwear will kind of stay what it is right now. I will put as much energy into it as I can because I love designing and I really love this community around HERBGARDEN knitwear, but I kind of had to accept that this will probably never be my full-time job. So when I realized that, I was a little frustrated, to be honest, but now that I have accepted that and I have come to peace with it, it's okay. So now that I know all that, I will definitely continue designing just simply because I really love to, but I will also really focus on what brings me joy. And if I really want to make a pattern from another designer, there's so many patterns I would love to knit, then I will. So over the past 5 years, I have only knit one pattern of another designer per year, kind of as a vacation knit, as I said earlier, to relax and to wind down. But next year, I really want to make more patterns of other designers. And if you are interested in what I might make, I have for the first time ever added some of the designs that I might want to cast on in the new year to my Revelry queue. And I believe you can just access that if you want and have a look what I might want to knit. I can also try and link it below if I can extract a link for it. Yeah, and some of the designs that are on the list, I already own the patterns for these designs for several years now. So it's not something that I decided on a whim or something like that. There are so many gorgeous designs out there, and sometimes I really, really want to make something just because I love how it looks. And until now, I really restrained myself and not allowed myself to do that because I really wanted to put all my time into HERBGARDEN knitwear. But now I kind of cut myself loose. I don't know how do you say it. I gave myself permission to just knit and in general focus on having fun and enjoying all of this. So you don't have to worry, I'm still going to design. It's something I really love, and I have so many ideas that I really want to give a try and explore, but it's not going to be only HERBGARDEN knitwear designs from now on. And yeah, I hope that's okay with you. I decided that having fun and enjoying knitting is more important than at some point being overworked and not being able to design sustainably anymore. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of both in 2025. And regarding my own designs, I have a lot of ideas. I have to say I have more ideas than I can possibly manage to bring alive in 1 year. But and I won't make any promises yet, but what is in my mind right now is that I want to release some of the designs that you have already seen. For example, this is the Reverie sweater, and I believe I either finished this in the end of last year or in the very beginning of this year. So I have this sweater already since quite some time. And I have been wearing it a lot because I really love it. It has these lovely balloon sleeves and a very long rib. And it has, just like the Reverie's tee that is already released, it has these lovely eyelets. Not sure if you can see it here around the neckline, maybe a little bit. And this is knit holding 2 strands of Isaiah alpaca 2 together. And it's a lovely, lovely fabric, very soft and very warm. And to my surprise, I usually have made the experience that alpaca yarn does pill a little bit in the beginning, especially on the places that get a lot of wear, like sleeves or here on the sides of a sweater. But this yarn held up so nicely. And I've been wearing this sweater a lot because it's one of my absolute favorite ones, because it's very elegant and very calm. It's not a lot going on here, and I really like it, and I really want to write up the pattern for this sweater. So let me know if that's something I should get into right away, or if there's something else you have on your mind that I have already shown you in the past that you really want me to make into a pattern for the next year. There are some more things that you might have seen in the past that I am thinking I might be able to make into patterns for the next year, but I won't name any of them because I don't want to make promises that I can't keep. But yeah, and also I have a lot of new ideas that came up during 2024. Sometimes I just see things spontaneously, or while I try out a new swatch, I have new ideas, and sometimes I just dream of new ideas. So I have so many ideas I really want to explore next year. At the moment I am thinking about all over colorwork sweaters and a lot of lovely texture and beautiful thought out details. But I only share this in time when I know I really can focus on the things and really have the time to bring them to life. So you can stay tuned as always, and I hope to have a lot of new interesting design ideas for you next year. If you have made any kind of knitting plans for 2025, I would love to hear about them. Leave me a comment below what you want to make. It doesn't matter if it's HERBGARDEN knitwear design or something else. I'm just interested and curious to hear what your plans and your ideas for 2025 are. At the end of each podcast episode, I try to highlight another knitter, podcaster or designer, and today I would like to introduce you to Michaela from Stitches in Stem. She also has a lovely knitting podcast, and I met her this year on the Barcelona Knits Festival. We had dinner together at one evening, and she made this gorgeous design from Sari Nordlund, which is called the Rivendell cardigan. And the very interesting thing is that she modified this cardigan a little bit so that the cable detail that is running down the sleeves is not only starting at the beginning of the sleeves, it's a drop shoulder cardigan, but it starts at the neckline and then runs down without interruption. I can say that word, I'm sorry. Without interruption from the neckline all down the sleeves. And she also picked a color that I really love. She made this gorgeous purple cardigan. And I rewatched all these episodes of her podcast, and I really loved how she explained everything. It was very detailed and very lovely to see the cardigan grow, and it really inspired me to maybe cast on a Rivendell cardigan myself in the next few weeks. So if you are enjoying knitting podcasts and you want to maybe discover a new one, then I really recommend that you check out Michaela's podcast. And she also has a lovely Instagram profile. I will link both of them below. Thank you so much if you watched all the way to the end. I really appreciate it that you spent your time with me. I hope you had a very calm and happy December wherever you are, and that you are well and have a lot of lovely knitting projects to make you happy. Thank you so much for all your support that you have shown me and HERBGARDEN knitwear during this year and also during the last 5 years. It's really special for me to have you as such a lovely knitting community, and I'm very, very grateful for each comment and each like, and it really, really means a lot to me that you spend time with me on my channel. If you are interested to keep up to date with what's happening here at HERBGARDEN knitwear, for example, with new releases, testing calls, and also special newsletter subscriber sales, then I have a newsletter that you can subscribe to on my website. That's completely free, and I share news a little more frequently than here on YouTube. And maybe that's something that you would like, and I will link this in the description as well. I hope you will all have a wonderful start to the new year, and that 2025 will hold a lot of good things for you. I hope you will have good health and a lot of lovely moments with your loved ones. And of course, I hope that the new year will hold a lot of fun knitting projects for you and enjoyable knitting podcasts and all the things that you love. Thank you for spending this year with me, and I cannot wait to see all your lovely projects of the next year. Take care, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.